Cultural Diversity and Discrimination in the Workplace. Tanya Price. Introduction. Racial Diversity on a Genetic Level. Our world is made up of many different people. Outward appearances vary greatly from facial shapes, skin color, height, weight, etc. However, we are more closely related than we think. The human species origin was traced back to Africa. From there, we migrated out to Asia and Europe. Approximately 85 to 90% of genetic variation is found within these continental groups, and only an additional 10 to 15% of variation is found between them. This means that there are only slight variations between humans, and the majority of our genetic makeup is similar to everyone around us. Though we are so similar in our genes, our outward appearances, due to the slight variations, have always set us apart from each other. Race classifications began because of these outward differences. When we look at the distribution of skin pigmentation in humans on the Earth's surface, we see a conspicuous geographic pattern. Specifically, darkly pigmented people are concentrated close to the equator, and lightly pigmented people are concentrated more toward the poles. This original gradient of skin pigmentation has been disrupted by human movements that have been increasingly long distance and rapid in the last 500 to 1,000 years. So as our ancestors migrated, their environment changed their skin tone, creating races. Introduction. Changes in labor laws due to racial and gender issues. Race as well as gender has triggered many movements for equality in society. Race and gender classifications have impeded minority groups from receiving equal treatment from the dominant groups. These movements have brought about changes to the laws of our country. Specifically, labor laws have changed to promote inclusion and equality and prohibit discrimination. The Civil Rights Act of 1964 was signed into law on July 2, 1964 by the United States President Lyndon B. Johnson. Title VII of this act protects people from employment discrimination. According to the Society for Human Resource Management, equal employment opportunity cannot be denied any person because of his or her racial group or perceived racial group, his or her race-linked characteristics, including hair texture, color, facial features, or because of his or her marriage to or an association with someone of a particular race or color. Title VII also prohibits employment decisions based on stereotypes and assumptions about abilities, traits, or the performance of individuals or certain race groups. Title VII's prohibitions apply regardless of whether discrimination is directed at whites, blacks, Asians, Latinos, Arabs, Native Americans, Native Hawaiians, and Pacific Islanders, multiracial individuals, or persons of any race, color, or ethnicity. Working in a global economy. There are many advantages to working with a diverse group of people. A company or organization can benefit from experiences gained from employees from different cultures. These experiences could provide better viewpoints and perspectives when operating in a global economy. The needs of customers can be better met by understanding their cultures, and employees with this understanding will give the business an advantage. With diverse backgrounds and cultures, a variety of solutions can be provided to increase an organization's adaptability to a changing economy. Knowledge of other languages and business cultures can provide a bridge for effective communication and service with customers, vendors, and suppliers. Issues in a diverse workplace. While many strides have been made to promote equality in the workplace, there are still many issues that individuals and organizations must overcome. 3 of these issues are language barriers, stereotypes, and resistance. Language barriers are a continuing issue to diversity in the workplace. The United States does not have an official national language, however, English is the most commonly used and accepted. To an individual coming from a foreign country where English is not the main language, understanding and conversing with a coworker can be difficult and frustrating. Using slang in conversations with coworkers from different backgrounds can cause confusion. For example, the term 10-4 is a radio code for I understand used within the United States. When this term was used with a coworker of Indian descent, he did not understand and became confused. Jargon within a company can also confuse new employees. I once received an email from a coworker after being in a new position for only a short time. The email contained so many acronyms such as BOL, short for Bill of Lading, and MSO, short for Machine Shipping Order, that I was confused as to what the person was asking me to do. There can be issues when using these types of slang and jargon. Some people may feel uncomfortable or do not want to appear stupid that they do not understand, so they pretend that they do. Unfortunately, without a true understanding, the employee will not be efficient and may not be able to complete their tasks. Body language and personal space issues. Along with verbal language barriers, there are body language barriers. Gestures can mean different things to people from different cultures and backgrounds. For instance, a beckoning hand gesture that means come here in the US actually means goodbye to an Italian. Indians shake their heads side to side to indicate yes, however someone from the US would interpret this as no. The Japanese prefer to bow in greeting rather than to shake hands. Personal space is also an issue found when working in a diverse environment. If a person is uncomfortable with physical touch or close proximity, the effective lines of communications can be shut down. Stereotypes. Stereotyping is one of the worst issues found within the workplace. Because of past race and gender classifications, people have preconceived biases based on physical appearances. While laws prohibit discrimination, these biases can hinder working relationships. Assumptions such as Asians are good at math, women are not strong enough for certain jobs, or Indians always work in IT are just some examples of how these biases discriminate. They prevent placing people in a good job fit because of assumptions. These stereotypes can also create hostile or uncomfortable work environments. People do not perform well when faced with low morale. Resistance. Resistance in the workplace is a continuation of stereotyping. People with individual biases can be resistant to working with people from different races, genders, religions, etc. People who withhold information from coworkers or sabotage projects would be a good example of resistance. Working relationships can be severely damaged and communications non-existent. This will prevent coworkers from being efficient and productive, which is damaging to the organization as a whole. Prevention of discrimination in the workplace is necessary in today's global economy. A diverse labor force can benefit an organization by introducing new ideas, viewpoints, experiences, and solutions to the problems. Genetically, people are very similar and outward appearances do not indicate what an individual is able to accomplish, both personally and professionally. To combat discrimination, an organization must implement training programs designed to promote diversity and inclusion in order to increase employee morale and promote personal growth within the organization. Many external organizations offer these training courses. A good example would be through Workplace Answers, a company that provides these training courses. Examples of their courses can be found at this web address. References. This is the conclusion of my presentation. Thank you very much.